Call the meeting to order, please. And if you would please stand. Join us for the pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. Welcome to the Village of Goodrich, May 8th, 2017, regular meeting. And with that said, I'll pick that up later on. Who I am, so anyway,
Changing your name.
let's go ahead with the approval of the agenda, please.
I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda dated May 8th, 2017.
Support.
White,
Yes.
Cafferty,
Yes.
Dick,
Yes.
Baldwin.
Yes. Approval of the minutes for the regular meeting, April 10th, 2017. Any questions? No questions, I will make a motion that we accept the minutes from the regular meeting, April 10th, 2017, as presented.
Support.
White,
Yes.
Cafferty,
Yes.
Dick,
Yes.
Baldwin.
And next would be the special meeting, April 17th, 2017, which has been one of our budget meetings.
I'll make a motion that we approve the special budget minutes dated April 17th, 2017.
White,
Yes.
Cafferty,
Yes.
Dick,
Yes.
Baldwin.
The treasurer's report, the purple sheet. Also, if there are any questions.
Make a motion to approve the treasurer's report dated May 8th, 2017.
Support.
White,
Yes.
Cafferty,
Yes.
Dick,
Yes.
Baldwin.
Yes. The bills and transfers, which would be the green sheet.
Two questions, Mr. President. There's a bill on here for $285 for Smoke and J's. Just curious what that was for.
Where is it?
Check 10803.
It was a refund for escrow amount. When they come in for, let me explain it.
Please.
When they come in for rezoning, site plan, whatever, you pay a certain amount, $1,500 plus their fee. And if they use up all the money with the engineers or the LSL or something like that, they get a refund.
And then weight trim, 2 or 3 down after that for $3,900.
That was for Clarence Street and a letter to Mr. Trump.
Do we have a project going on Clarence Street?
They had them come and review a couple of catch basins.
Thank you.
Anything else? Then looking for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the bills and transfers of April 1st to April 30th, 2017.
Support. Mr. Lightcott.
White,
Yes.
Cafferty,
Yes.
Dick,
Yes.
Baldwin.
First segment of your public comments. This is agenda items only. Please go to the mic. That was about nothing.
Sign.
Anyone?
Just a hello.
No one? Let's move on to unfinished business. We have the reports from our street administrator, please.
Yeah, I made contact with road commission, talking to Bonnie down there about a couple of traffic counters for Erie, Clarence, and Pontiac, so they can take some black and white numbers to the school, about assisting with, the payment for the asphalt on Clarence Cemetery and Pontiac Street. Have them help us with the payment for that, hopefully. In talking with Bonnie, she submitted a letter of understanding that would be 5 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for traffic count, so we can look at school day traffic volume as well as weekend traffic volume. That's for 3 counters for 5 days, and they interpret the results and submit a report for us to take to the school with that. The cost for that was $450. I spoke with Jackie on that a little bit ago, and figured I'd bring it to the board for approval for that.
Make motion to approve $400 for the traffic count. 450. Suppression at 450, please. Support.
Light,
Yes.
Cassidy,
Yes.
Dick,
Yes.
Baldwin.
Yes. Anything else? 9/11?
We have that meeting tomorrow, although we did receive the resignation from the manager from 911 effective the end of the year. So they're going to retire with us by, so we will be looking for a new 911 administrator in the near future. But nothing on water and waste at this time. Or I didn't get a report from the sheriff's department. Although I did talk to the sheriff and I talked to the captain of the paramedics regarding the speed that the paramedics seem to be going when they come through town, especially on Eagle Road. He wrote a letter to all of the officers as well as the paramedics, and they reviewed what the process is for coming into what I call a subdivision. Eagle Road is business residential, so they're going to keep an eye on how fast they come. I've got some complaints indicating that the cars are there before the siren, and he went into the aerodynamics and all that of it. But basically, he agreed that when you're coming into an area like that, you need to be careful. It also depends on what kind of a call they have. If they have a call that is, child can't breathe, then they're gonna go a little faster than somebody cut their phone. So they use their judgment. And if I'm having a heart attack, I'd like them to speed it up a little bit myself. So, we have been looking into that and the coverage that we also get, and like the tickets that are written. Do you have anything else? Input on that, being that you're in the position? Or?
No, I can vouch for the officers and the medics especially that, depending on what the call type is and the urgency is gonna dictate a lot of the discretion as far as the speed goes. Obviously, if we've got somebody on a phone doing CPR, we're gonna hurry up and get there. And knowing all of them personally, they're all very
They
good,
were
very
very
conscientious
understanding.
drivers. Right.
Was understanding.
And it's not uncommon for the, unless you've got a horn with something on a train or on fire trucks, it's very easy to outdrive the sirens, and before you know it, you're on somebody, before they ever hear or see you.
Anyone else? Code enforcement?
We did get I got one complaint, Tracy might have got another one, regarding the barn on Dutch Road. The complaint that I got today was it's pretty much down, except for there are pieces of metal, wood with nails in it that they need to clean it up, whoever's doing the job. And they're concerned that it might end up underneath the ground and cause a problem later on. So I will get with Dave on that tomorrow. Other than that,
Administrator?
I just wanted to get a clarification and a motion, if I could. When Taylor's came out and pumped the well out, they were here for a long period of time because it just kept pumping sludge. So their bill was $900, and the estimate from Goodrich water treatment is $6826.50. So I'd just like a clarification motion. Your motion said $7,500, but it's $7726.50. Sorry.
Just a quick question, with the sludge being removed, is the sludge gonna come back from the well? I mean, did we figure out what's causing that issue?
We're having the water treatment program put in on Friday, and Mark talked to somebody and said, run everything dry prior to that, the hot water heaters and whatever else, and then do it afterwards. I talked to Wolverine, and they said, yeah, you can do that, but they will run it dry after the fact too, and it should take care of it.
But, after they did that sediment, in one of the test models, it was pretty nasty. It looked like a mud puddle. And the bottom line of the story, and I mean, common sense would tell you that in the reservoir, in the water heater, you're gonna have a lot of that stuff in there. And for the most part, they don't use an awful lot of water in there, so the stuff is gonna lay in there. And they just said, turn off the well, turn off the water heater, drain it, flush it, and then purge it for a while, which incidentally makes sense.
Wolverine said that, and Mark's probably the same thing, and then when they flushed it, there's still crud in the pipes, and like he says, we don't run enough water for a long period of time because it stinks, to be honest with you. So maybe they indicate that it'll take care of it.
I would be optimistic once you finish it. I just don't think that
The
the
gentleman
water
came
conditioning
out
system is
after.
adequate to begin with.
Yeah. Well, I guess my question is, was the sludge in the well itself that they pulled
When they
out?
pumped out.
Yeah.
When they first started it, it came out pretty much black, and then it shot nice white foamy stuff, and then it shot stuff like when you see that somebody got a well and it's all over the road, that cream color stuff, and it shot that for a long time. There's puddles of it down there.
But that issue's cleared up with our well? I mean, we don't have a defective well, I mean.
I don't think so.
No, they took the pipes out.
A lot of mineral deposits, have you seen a pump in the point, the screen on the end? It's just all that stuff was all gathered around there. I think that was the biggest part.
Because what I was considering, if $7,700 wasn't gonna be enough, if they had to come and do it a second time after the system and stuff was in, if we wanted to get ahead of that.
I would feel comfortable with what he's doing. That doesn't mean things can't happen, but I feel pretty comfortable with it.
We have a budget meeting on the 17th, and they're doing it on Friday, so if we need to, we can bring it back then, if that gives us enough time.
So what's the amount we're looking for, the adjustment?
It's $7726.50 in total.
And we had it for 75,
Mhm.
so I'll make a motion to improve it to $7,800.
Okay, support.
Slate,
Yes.
McCafferty,
Yes.
Dick,
Yes.
Baldwin.
Yes. What's up with that?
I have one more. Never mind, it's on community development, never mind. That's it.
You all right?
Here.
All right. The sidewalks. Park and Recs Committee, and I would assume Sharon.
Where are my other notes here? Let's see, we were gonna go on a walkthrough of the park, but it was raining, so we put that off until next Thursday. We're gonna, meet in the park and go on a walkthrough of the park and talk about where the path, for the grant would potentially be. Next Parks and Rec meeting, we will be, voting for, officers of the Parks and Rec Committee. We talked about fundraising for the park projects and maybe getting with local businesses and selling picnic tables where businesses could put their names on it, park benches where businesses could dedicate their, have the benches there with their names on it as a supporter of the park. Businesses seem more apt to get something for money that they donate rather than just write a blank check and say, here you go, and not really have anything tangible that they can say that they did. We discussed the potential of a budget amount for the Parks and Rec. What else? Then we're going to be, the committee members are coming up with like a list of ideas that, talking to people in the community or just ideas in general for the park improvements to possibly spend some of that money budgeted towards us to do some improvements in the park. And we were also changing the, we voted to change the meeting date to the third Thursday of the month and have the meetings at 5:30. That way, we're not, typically the meetings are the Thursday prior to council meetings. If it was the third Thursday, if we had anything that we had to prep to bring to council, we've got a little bit of time rather than, just kind of putting something together and here you go, and it's sloppy and, so just, I guess, do we need approval from council to change the Parks and Rec meeting date and time?
What's the consensus, everybody?
Yeah, everyone was fine, everyone was fine with changing it to the third Thursday. I didn't,
Mr. Vick, you probably don't have a problem.
That's their committee. That's when they can meet.
That's the way I would see it too.
and I think in a nutshell, that was that we were talking about, just like the length of the path and, different things that, the grant money could potentially be spent on, and different ideas for, like I said, we're gonna come up with a list of ideas and kind of prioritize and hopefully have, a picture of something for the park so people can visualize it rather than just, hey, this is what I heard kind of stuff. So that was short and sweet.
That's it. Thank you. Under new business, the Community Development Cooperative Agreement, please.
We need to make a motion to continue with community development if that's what your wish is. I don't see a reason not to. If we can't come up with a reason to use the money, then we loan it to other places. Argentine Township owes us $19,517 right now, although we can't have a project for that when we ask for projects in the fall. We should be getting from 12 to 19,000 this year that we didn't allocate projects for, if we have anything that qualifies. So I need a motion to direct me to send a letter to community development. And again, this is dependent on what happens in Washington DC, whether there's even funds allocated. At this time, there are funds. Talked about, so I need a motion to direct me to write a letter to stay with community development or drop out, whichever.
Make a motion to stay with community development program.
Support.
And direct me to write a letter.
Yes. And direct administrator to write a letter. Please.
Anything else, any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Blake,
Yes.
McCafferty,
Yeah.
Dick,
Yes.
Baldwin.
Yes. Budget amendments?
This is the same situation that we go through every time. We do have a couple questions that I have to talk to the auditors about. If you look on page 1, where it says refunds and rebates, the amount that we got refunded from New Holland for that salt spreader is listed there, and I have to check with the auditors to see if it stays there, because it also shows up as a purchase in equipment. So, I mean, we have the refund, but it shows up as, so I'm checking on that. On page 2, I think I put too much of Tracy's wages in building inspection when I transposed some numbers, so adjusting her wages in there. Nothing changed as far as how much they are. It's just coming from one place to another. If you go to page 4, you'll see that change is taken out of the building secretary's wages. You see that goes out. Page 3, I had to increase the legal by $21,000. At this point, we've spent 46. I increased it to 51. I don't know if that is going to end up enough. That takes care of Mr. Gilmer, Mr. McKinney, and the deck company might cost. At this particular point in time, we go to a meeting the 21st, I believe, of May with the insurance company to see where we stand with getting any of our money back. The indication is that it could go our way, but until we get there. Because the lawyer for the plaintiffs removed the word sewer. And the sewer was what was causing all the problems, because there was no sewer claims, and that was the problem that we didn't have. At that time, you couldn't get sewer coverage, we have it now. So hopefully we'll realize some money from that. Again, going to page 4. I spent almost $12,000 on equipment maintenance and repair for the trucks and the grader. This is a new line item. I just wanted you to be aware of the monies that, if the air brakes go out or whichever happens. But right now we spent $10,000 and I budgeted 12 because the truck was in for again, and I don't have that bill. Or the truck was in for an air brake, not again. The equipment roads, again, what I mentioned, is the 89, that's the price of that salt spreader. So we'll get with the auditors on the proper way to take care of that, because we did not spend that money. And again, reduction in code enforcement officers' wages, the building inspector, the building and secretary's wages, they help, and building operations reduce that by the amounts that are listed there. And again, going on page 5, there's another $600 that's reduced. Going down to drains at large, that's the county bill that we get when anyone calls and asks to have the county come out and look at a drain, or in this case, part of it is we fixed a drain on Kersley Street, and that's our portion of that bill. Local drains, doing the catch basins and looking at Clarence Street, and drain projects throughout the village. That's a change on that. Page 6, interrupt me if you have any questions. There's no changes. Major roads, routine wages, and winter wages, like we do every year, switch those back and forth. We didn't use $2,173 for winter wages. Major roads, minor roads, the wages have increased for minor roads. I increased them to $20,000 for 15 for routine and $10,098 for winter. Just because we didn't have a ton of snow doesn't mean that we're not out there in the winter putting salt down or sand down or taking care of different items on the roads during the winter time. Page 9. Again, our routine equipment for winter, I reduced that to 27 and added that to just regular routine. We will be using, there's a $7,100 fund balance. When we talked about going into this budget, we mentioned that we might be using that. We have not transferred all the money from general fund to minor roads, and if we can avoid doing that, because it doesn't help us to have a fund balance in major minor roads, we don't get $1.50 worth of interest like we do in general fund. We did transfer the monies from the 213 construction fund to the debt retirement fund, and that has been the additional principal, the $12,918 or $906, has been applied to reduce that principal amount. And we made a motion at the last meeting to close that account, so it is closed. Continuing on page 10, just as a reminder that public improvement, that's the monies that we have left over. There's about $14,000 left in there from the bike path. And we have a proposed project out there. If you walk on the bike path when you get close to where Mr. Baldwin lives, there's drainage that comes off that hill, and the DPW is going to work on putting a French drain or something like that in there to keep it off the sidewalk so it doesn't turn to ice. And the $32.94 is what we put for gravel before we set that money back. Or no, the $32.94 is when we seal coated the bike path. Sorry. And there isn't any other changes. The sewer fund tap-ins we should get right close to 20,000. I think, did you say there's 3 residentials to be picked up? And it's May, so we have 2 months. And people are on the building Goodrich right now. So I'm looking for a motion to approve the budget amendments as presented.
Discussion here?
I'll make a motion to approve the budget amendment, dated period ending April 30th, 2017.
Support.
one of the new business would be our tree bids.
There are 3 tree bids in your packet. One from Owens Tree Service, Ammo. 300, give or take. Mackey's Tree Service for 36, and Ken Engel's Tree Service for 22. I think I mentioned at the last meeting that Ken Engel's Tree Service is the one that took the trees down by Dan's Ready Mix, if anybody noticed. They did a good job in cleaning up the stumps. So my recommendation, just by the price alone, would be Ken Engel's Tree Service for $2,200. That's for removing and taking the stumps out, the big tree in the park, and other ones that are by Cemetery and Pontiac and by the tennis court, Cemetery Street, grinding the stumps and make it look fresh as new.
Now, are all of these trees, on village property, none of them are on private property? Okay.
I don't cut trees down on private property.
Okay, no, I was just making sure I don't wanna set a precedent and then we got everybody calling wanting the trees and stumps are
We
going.
don't do that. Road right away.
And I was gonna ask the same question, because when you go to these addresses, they do look like they're on the property of these addresses. It's the 2 that are on 7472 Seneca Street and 7482 Pontiac Street.
Which one are you looking at?
Well, I'm just, the addresses that they gave us, I'm looking at, what is that, Mackey's Tree Service?
Mackey's, okay.
Okay, not
It
just,
just means that they're right by that address. It's like when you call in to get a street light fixed, you gotta give them the nearest address. So that's what he did.
482 Pontiac Street, the 2 maple trees with stumps cut down, 3 small trees with vines, that's like right out in front of that resident.
Yeah, they're.
And road right away.
Road right away.
Okay, and then the ones in the cemetery, the 2 dead pine trees, is that in the cemetery or?
Road
No.
right away.
Okay.
The only question I had is if you cut they're gonna cut this up in 4-foot lengths and leave it there. Have we done that in the past? I mean, neighbors don't get on there and fight over this wood, do they?
We have a couple people that have shown an interest in it to pick it up. Anybody can pick up the one.
Well, I don't have a problem as long as we don't end up with
A
a
brush
fist fight.
pile,
You know?
Right.
a brush pile or just like.
Well, it would be burnable logs, and everybody would like them, and that's the point, you don't want people, neighbors down there fighting with each other over these logs.
The people that are, the trees in front of their house, then obviously they can keep those, most of it would be the one in the park, the one that goes like that.
The brush that comes off it, are they chipping that, taking it, and they're just leaving the logs? And then I
Or
guess-
we will chip it and put it in a pile for wherever we use wood chips.
Okay.
We can't use that in the park though, can we? Doesn't have to be certified mulch in the park?
We can't use it under equipment, but we can put it around the trees like we have.
And then I guess my last question is, if the road, if the wood doesn't get removed by the residents, what's their option to, what are we gonna do with it?
You got a truck? You need it?
It's
I'm
pretty
all
much
right now.
all spoken for. If you want some, we'll put your name on the list.
Right at the very top too.
Because that one that's in the Goodrich County Parks there, the ones I'm thinking of, that's a huge tree. I mean,
But it's popular.
it is, but 4-foot logs at a base that big around. I'm just, you're having a heck of a time getting that out of here. Yeah, I know you're not. I'm just saying, who's ever wanted.
No use for it.
I have my backhoe. I'm gonna load it.
So would the DPW assist in that and try to put it in somebody's trailer to get it out? Could the DPW assist in that if you put it in somebody's trailer?
Yeah, people are,
I just wanna make sure I'm not gonna have a stack of wood laying around.
no, we're not.
I'll bet it disappears,
All right.
Yeah, we're not.
as long as they don't end up doing contest out there, that's another. People fight over the stupidest things. Anything else? Any other comments?
I'll make a motion for, Ken Engel's tree service to, handle the dead trees in the area as per their bid dated April 13th.
Support.
We got the amount on there for the amount of $2,200?
$2,200.
22. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, well, in the motion,
Oh, yeah.
22.
Like,
Yes.
McCaffrey,
Yes.
Sig,
Yes.
Baldwin.
Yes. So that's part of our public comment.
They're all licensed and insured.
Okay.
Public comment, if you have anything else to say, please come up.
All right.
I'm Ann Sholin, I live in Hopler Ridge. I read in a past issue of our citizen review that the village is on board to get maybe 1.4 million for road work.
That was an error.
What?
That was an error.
That was an error, so we're not getting that?
There was our taxable income, our taxable value would increase 1.4 million roughly, not roads. That would be
Yeah.
nice.
Well, for future interest for our village, our disintegrating roads next door in Hawthorne Ridge. I hope at some point in time, if we do get some money, this has been going on for, I've been here 8 years, and that road isn't that. I don't know what else to say. I'm disappointed, 1.4, I saw dollars on it.
I had a party at your house.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Anyone else? If not, then I'll turn it over to council. Council. What do you say? Come on, Mrs. McCaffrey.
Well, I
Make
was,
it short.
I was very happy to hear that Ms. Sholin was very excited to get the Village Vibe newsletter, and that Mr. Lighton said that he's also heard many wonderful comments about the village newsletter, so I hope it can live on. That's all I have to say.
And I like my crow heavy on salt. too.
Yeah, it tastes like chicken.
Tastes like chicken. Council, anything else, Mr. Light?
No, sir.
We do have a budget meeting next Tuesday at 5.
Support.
We all agree. Agree?
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming.
Motion to adjourn?
Okay.
Oh, okay, I missed that. I was still gloating.
Serve up some more crow, huh?